The new Hellraiser reboot stars a transgender pinhead, ultra-sexy Cenobites, and drug addiction. A perfect combination for the whole family to enjoy. This time around, the Cenobites turn into slashers who only want to kill you and not you. Demons to some, angels to others, and super weird to all. This is Hellraiser 2022.
What did you think about Hellraiser, spoiler free?
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. The ending was a little wonky, but I gotta tell you, it might be the best sequel since 2. I really did like this movie, didn't love it, couple problems, but overall, I really enjoyed this movie. So I will ask you, what did you think of Hellraiser 2022?
I enjoyed the watch.
Yes.
I enjoyed the watch.
Okay.
But let's not get too fucking ahead of ourselves here, okay?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things with there. I'm like, oh, really? This is what they did? Because there's some things that really bothered me. But overall, I enjoyed the watch, though. I have to be honest, I enjoyed the watch.
Absolutely. It's about a girl struggling with addiction, which I like, we like, you know, we both have dabbled in drug addiction. And now we've dabbled out of it. So
Damn right.
I did like that aspect to it.
Same.
And I liked that once she relapsed in the first 20 minutes, that's when her journey started. That was cool for me. That's when she first saw, you know, the Cenobites and Pinhead and whatnot. So I did like that fact. The characters felt real to me. They felt like they were really brother and sister, and they were really friends, and the characters, for me, were a big check mark.
When she relapses, I was like, oh, okay,
I know.
This is where shit's going to get fucking a little hairy here, and it did.
Yeah, and she's a really good actress. I got to give her props because she just felt like a real person, and I have to give that props. But when it comes to the Cenobites, okay, I have praise for the Cenobites, right? And then I have a little bit of an issue with the Cenobites.
Same.
I think, and Hellraiser's been known, it started as a very sexual and sadomasochistic story. You know,
love that word.
Clive Barker's first one, and then the sequels just kind of like got rid of that effect. So this one's a little bit more hypersexualized with the look of the Cenobites. A lot of female Cenobites, a couple male ones. They brought back the Chatterer, which, you know, it's fine. They killed him off, which I liked. That was cool.
Right.
You know, they're like, no, here's the Chatterer, but then he's gonna die. You know, so that was cool. But overall, I did like the look of the Cenobites, but I don't know if it's something about 80s practical effects that they felt almost too slick and clean and polished for me. It didn't have that raw, slimy, heavy, weighty makeup of the 80s that the original Cenobites have in 1 and 2. You know, it just didn't, I don't know.
Mikey, the same feeling went through my head.
Right?
Of just going, oh, this is a little too perfect.
Yeah, too perfect.
Yeah, they're too perfect. I want a little, everything doesn't have to be symmetrical, all right? It's just like make things a little fucked up and weird.
Point.
Yeah, I feel you on the sleekness of it. Just pull it back a couple notches when it comes to the Cenobites. Yes.
Pull it back. And the story, they involve some rich guy, which I'm like, okay, they were kind of free to do whatever they want. I did like what they did with the puzzle box when it's first introduced, how you're like, oh, this is the puzzle box. They show it from an angle where it looks square, and then it kind of, the camera turns and, oh shit, it's not. It's in its different configuration. There's 7 or whatever forms of the configuration for the puzzle box. So that was a little bit of I know they do it in 2 where it turns into the triangle thing, but this one, the mechanics of the box were so impressive. From the sound design, the clicks, and the way it turned, and the CGI, I was like, yo, this looks real. It obviously had to be CGI, but it looks real.
So that's the benefit of doing it today.
Yes,
is that you
absolutely.
have the CGI to make the box do things that you couldn't do in the 80s. But 2 things I love, Mikey, and I think you love them both.
Okay.
Puzzles.
Yes, I do.
Optical illusions.
Love both of them.
You give me that.
We're out of here.
You give me that.
That's it.
I'm out. That's it. And dude, nailed the box. I was so interested to go,
Nailed it.
What's it going to do next?
Yep.
Oh, wait, where's the little spike going to come out next? Like,
Yeah.
I was on board to see, like, oh, like, how far can we take it? Or, like, or, you know, it's a good part of these movies, too.
What?
Especially this one, but.
Okay.
Who's next?
Yeah, so that's the thing about this for me is
Yeah.
they turned the Cenobites, especially towards the end, into slashers, which
Excuse me, yes.
which I didn't like. I didn't like how they turned them into like Jason Voorhees. They lock in the door and there's like 6 Jason Voorhees standing outside. When that's not what the Cenobites are.
So that was one of my biggest problems. Sorry, go ahead.
They've never been slashers.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed that by the end, I'm like, oh, okay, so they're just literally slashers. That's all they've been dumbed down to, are they're locking them out and they're just trying to come after them and kill them. I don't know. They had it right in the beginning of the movie, but then towards the end, they made it a little too slashery ending for me, where they had to survive physically against these things. When it's a little more deep, it's a little more summoning of them and making deals with the person who summoned them. That's what kind of the originals do. So I don't know. That was a little messy, but we will get into it on our extended version. We're doing a little quick episode again because that's just what the fuck we want to do.
Yeah, and you guys have terrible attention spans. So
Absolutely.
You're welcome,
We do too, but
Yeah, well.
So we will be diving into the lore and the what's going on in this movie deeply into our extended version. Click the link in the description if you want to listen to that podcast. But I think overall we both did like it, right?
Yeah, overall, I'll say like this. Wasn't let down by Hulu Hellraiser, as it shows on the title.
I will watch it again. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm with you.
I will watch it again. It felt real. Like the characters felt real. The Cenobites felt real. And before we round out, let's talk about Pinhead. What did you think of the new Pinhead?
I was on board with her.
Okay.
I liked the voice.
What is it you pray for?
I liked.
okay.
I
You're saying her. I think it's a transgender. That's just my assumption. But, that's just, I think it's transgender because this is obviously very sexual, the Hellraiser movies. And the Cenobites, they're not demons. They are these sexual, used to be humans, and now they're turned into these pleasure, pain, sexual beings who where's the threshold of pleasure, right? Is it pain? So very, 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 very transgender for the Pinhead.
But the reason I'm saying she is because it was played by a female.
I know.
Right? So
I mean the voice. That's the only reason.
The transgender voice.
No. I'm saying with her voice.
Yeah.
It sounded like it was a transgender Pinhead. The way it looks like it was a transgender Pinhead to me.
Okay.
What is it you pray for?
All right.
Yep, she did not sound like a female, and I think that's progressive, and I think that's fucking awesome.
I dug Pinhead. I dug the female. Sorry, Jesus. I dug the Pinhead in this. I dug Pinhead.
Just my opinion. So
I
yeah.
did. You overall dug Pinhead?
I did.
Yeah.
I liked the look of it. It was, but again, a little too sleek.
A little too sleek.
I miss like the black outfits and the slime and like I miss that. But, I'm not going to sit here and criticize him for it. I'm just going to give you my thoughts and that's it. So.
What is it you pray for?
So, Mikey, I'm going to ask you first.
Sure.
What did you think of Hellraiser 2022?
I'm going to give Hulu Hellraiser a 7.2.
7.2 is a good score.
That's
okay.
a good score.
I will give it
What about
I'm going to give it an 8 flat.
Okay.
8 flat. I'm going to say
Okay.
80% because they could have really botched it.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, they could have really fucking botched it. It's a
We know a
botched
lot.
job.
Oh, botched. Oh, I botched that one. Oh, that's a botched job.
So that's
Yeah.
it. We're going to round out. Guys, thanks for summoning us by the watch one more time.
As always.
We will be back next time with such sights to show you.
Definitely.